With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The Colonial Clash Racing Series fires things off right here in Rossburg, Ohio, the world's greatest dirt track. Eldora Speedway can host some heat racing as well as a 60-lap feature event in tonight's Rickenbacker Door Company 50 right here from Eldora. How you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV Land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Qualifying already underway. Drivers in happy hour in hot laps. We're turning in times sub 19.8. We'll see who can walk away with the fast time here in qualifying. So what do you say we get rid of some of that track information and bring you some of the driver rundowns out there on track? Quick time here in qualifying belongs to Dylan McConnell, top of the speed charts. Quick time for the 38. 1976, Thomas Smalley going to come in second with a 1977 right there, knocking on the doorstep of snatching and walking away with the Goose Graphics Pole Award here tonight. Qualifying session will set the starting lineups for our two heat races here tonight. 8 laps to determine the starting grid in each one of our heat races, then we'll remix it to Our 60 lap feature here tonight from Eldora Speedway. What a run, what a night we're going to have. First time these drivers are going to tackle the dirt in these machines, and we'll see who's been doing their homework. So with just about a minute and a half remaining in qualifying, we've only got, let's see, it looks to be 4 drivers yet to put in a time lap. Chris Mefford, Scott Baker, Tyler Woodard, and Scott Clodfelter yet to put in his time lap. The fast forward F-150 of Clodfelter out on track now. We'll see how he goes about his business here tonight. And speaking of business, what do you say we get into some official business before tonight's race? 5 races in the bag. We start race number 6 here tonight. And your points rundown look a little something like this. Cody Giles, top of the point standings coming into tonight's race, sitting 2 points out in front of Troy Radford. Radford, with a good run last week, walked away with a podium position as his teammate Chris Medford went to victory lane for the second time this season. We'll see if he can get the job done yet again here tonight. There you can see Brandon Medford sitting in third, John Garrett, Thomas Smalling rounding out your top 5 all the way down to your top 10. Only 47 points separating Giles from Pamatat right there, so still very close action in the point standings, and with just about 30 seconds remaining in qualifying, that's going to pretty much do it and get our field set and ready to go for tonight's heat laps. We're going to dive right into heat racing, no commercial breaks. We're going to stay right here as these drivers get ready to roll. So with qualifying in the bag, Dylan McConnell will take the pole position here tonight and start in the front of the field for heat race number 1. Drivers beginning to make it to their positions for heat race number 1. And I tell you what, we'll get a little closer to the track. Heat race number 1 stacked with some really good drivers. McDonald, Giles, Teal, Franklin, Gutekunst, Fuller, Medford, Miller, Clodfelter. A lot of big names here in heat race number 1. So what do you say we jump a little closer to the track? There you can see all the trucks lined up on pit road, ready to roll. Track officials taking some extra time to look at the track, ensure it's ready for heat racing action here from Eldora Speedway. These drivers going to tackle the banks of the dirt, and who's going to be banging it off the wall, who's going to be down there bottom feeding. A lot of different lines, a lot of different lanes, and as we get set to roll here, we're going to watch as everybody rolls off of pit road. Your starting lineup for heat race number 1 looks a little something like this, walking away with the Goose Graphics pole position here tonight. Inside of his 38 truck, Dylan McDonald will start from the front. Cody Giles in the 6 machine will start to just his outside with Spencer Teal and Dustin Franklin back in row 2. Row number 3 for heat race number 1, the 41 of John Gutekunst and the 35 of Wes Fuller. Chris Medford, Thad Miller back in row number 4, and rounding out your field here for heat race number 1, the 19 of Scott Clodfelter. So there's your starting lineup brought to you by Pro Cup Racing Experience. If you're looking to get yourself behind the wheel of some of the fastest cars available on some of the best tracks out there, look no further than Pro Cup Racing Experience. You can book your ride at ProCupRacingExperience.com as the pace truck ducks off. We'll nail the gas and green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Eldora Speedway. Right to the top of the track goes Giles. McDonald gonna slide up, self-slider there through 1 and 2. Gonna take a look here at Spencer Teal digging on the bottom to 41 of John Gutekunst. He likes the bottom of the racetrack as well. We're gonna stay stacked up here as the field crosses the line to lap number 1 in the bag. Just 7 more to go here in heat race number 1. Dylan McDonald stepping away from the field now. Spencer Teal battling with John Gutekunst. Top side, low side, going at it. 2 trucks, 2 rows deep. Looking to slide himself through 3 and 4 that time around. Dustin Franklin needed a little bit more room, but he'll complete the pass. The 46 going to bang it off the boards right up off of the cushion here in 1 and 2. Looks like a little bit of a loose race truck there for the 35 of Wes Fuller, struggling to get the powder down without the tail end stepping out. McDonald going to run the fastest lap of the race. Quick time here in heat race number 1, 1989 for McDonald. Battle for positions outside of your top 5 raging on. There you can see Wes Fuller and Cody Giles going at it for 5th and 6th on the racetrack. Let's not forget about the guys at the front. Dylan McDonald started from the pole position, walking away with this thing just about a 1 second advantage. We'll take a look at that timing and scoring here. We'll see if we can't get that fixed up. With 3 laps remaining here in heat race number 1, Dylan McDonald putting it on him right now, improving that fast time here in race trim. McDonald going to lay down a 1984 right there on the cusp of those qualifying times. So we'll see if anybody's got more speed, and you can see a lot of damage on the 6 machine. Cody Giles, excuse me, of Cody Giles, your points leader coming into tonight's race, having a little bit of a struggle on the dirt. Popsicle sticks on display this last time around. We'll see the white flag as Dylan McDonald crosses the line through 1 and 2, running that high line, trying to push the cushion a little closer to the wall, allow these drivers to run a little more wide open, and he looks nice and smooth at the top. Going to come off of turn 4, and checkered flag flies here in heat race number 1. Dylan McDonald will take the pole position here for tonight's feature, the Rickenbacker Tour Company 50, right here from Eldora Speedway. And just like that, we'll clear the track, and drivers going to begin to make their way to their starting positions. You can see those trunk drivers beginning to fill up the pit lane. As we get ready and set to roll for heat race number 2, we're going to jump right in to your lineup here for heat race number 2. Starting from the pole position here will be the 21 of Thomas Smalling. He's going to look to get his Pro Cup racing experience. Chevy Silverado in that second spot for tonight's 60-lap feature event. Brandon Medford right to his outside. Thad Failer, Nathan Eastham back in row 2. Brandon Pamitat, Mark Parkhurst back in row 3. And in row number 4, the 66 of John Garrett, followed by the 60 of Zach Woods. Scott Baker will round out the field here tonight in heat race number 2. So 8 more laps of action-packed dirt truck racing. That's right, you caught it. Dirt truck racing here tonight with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Man, I can't wait. Bristol coming up here this weekend. Man, it's dirt track racing at its best. There's going to be a lot of tempers flying this weekend up there in Bristol, but there may be some tempers flying here in Rossburg, Ohio before the end of tonight's race. Looks like the track isn't quite slicking off just yet, so these drivers are going to have to continue to try to run A little bit of rubber in, still looks very tacky out there as the field comes off of turn 4. We'll hit the gas and green flag flies. Here in heat race number 2, a much closer start. Here in heat race number 2, the 83 of Brandon Medford going to go right to the top of the speedway, and he's going to edge his machine a little bit out front. The Zoe's Place, number 83. Chevy Silverado looking good, but here comes Smalling digging on the bottom, really making it work through the center of 3 and 4, just at the line. New race leader, Brandon Medford. Check out Nathan Estep. He's going to step his way right on by. The Pro Cup Racing Experience 21 machine of Thomas Smalling. Estep looking really smooth up there on the top of the racetrack, trying to follow Brandon Medford around here. A little bit too much, gonna overstep the cushion, a little bang off the boards of that right rear. No harm, no foul as Estep stays in the line. Lose a little ground, run a little shallower entry there, trying to gain a little bit of time as Thomas Smalling gonna beat it off the boards behind him. Oh, there it is, into the outside wall again, and that's going to slow him up. Brandon Medford starting to walk away with this thing. Now new fastest race lap of the night, 19:58 for Brandon Medford, the 83, on rails at the top of the speedway. We're going to take a look at this little battle raging on back here. We got drivers mixing it up, 4 positions at the front, drivers going at it in the rear of this field as well. Outside of your top 5, Thad Baylor, Mark Parkhurst, John Garrett, all going at it for position on the track. Now Estep going to overstep on the cushion on late exit, and he's going to hit the wall. That's going to give Smalling just enough of an opportunity to squeeze on by now the squeeze play. As we got Slider City right here for a second. While these guys are battling, Medford beginning to step away with just 2 laps to go. Here in heat race number 2, Brandon Medford out to a 2.2 second advantage. Estep, Pamitat, Smalling going at it for positions that are gonna matter big when it comes to tonight's feature event. Across the line we roll, white flag flies. Final lap here from heat race number 2. You're watching the Rickenbacker Door Company 50 live from Eldora Speedway. Medford off of 3 and 4 in heat race number 2 will come to a close. The Zoe's Place Chevy Silverado will take the checkered flag and start outside pole position, and that's going to do it for our heat races, and we're going to get set and ready to fire things off here for tonight's feature event. A little bit of track prep and some pre-race festivities yet to come your way. So we're going to step away from the track, take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back live here from Eldora Speedway.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular their bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And back live trackside once again here from Eldora Speedway. We're ready to fire things off here tonight for the Rickenbacker Door Company 50 right here from Eldora Speedway, Rossburg, Ohio's Tony Stewart's very own baby. Gonna give us something crazy here tonight. The world's greatest dirt track. There you can see it. Its claim to fame, and we're gonna get ready to make somebody famous. Who's gonna go to victory lane here tonight from the dirt at Eldora? And as drivers make their way to their starting positions, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Rickenbacker Door Company 50 from Eldora Speedway. Snatching the Goose Graphics Pole Award here tonight, starting from inside row number 1 in heat race number 1. The 38 led every single lap and took the checkered flag. Dylan McDonald will roll off in the top spot. Brendan Medford, winner of heat race number 2, started a second outside pole position in his heat race. Can he repeat some magic here and start from outside pole position and get himself to victory lane? Back in row number 2, Spencer Teal. In Nathan E. Step, row number 3 tonight from Eldora, John Gutekunst and Brandon Pamitat. Dustin Franklin and Thomas Smalling back in row number 4, rounding out your top 5 here tonight inside row the 35 of Wes Fuller, followed by Thad Failer. Cody Giles and Mark Parkhurst back in row number 6. Deep in the field, row number 7 tonight, Chris Medford and John Garrett. Thad Miller, Zachary Woods making up row 8. Row 9 tonight, Scott Claude Felter and Scott Baker going to give it a shot here tonight, and that's going to finish out your field here tonight for the Pro Cup Racing Experience starting lineup, and we'll get rid of the graphics as the music fades. We'll bring the trucks to life on the gas, and green flag flies for the first time here on dirt. Great racing action already. 2, 3, 4 trucks wide. Contact 38's going to go around. Contact, big pile up. Caution, caution. Big time caution. We got ourselves a parking lot, boys. Sirs, there's parking and free parking here at the track, but you cannot park there. Big trouble here on lap number 1, working their way through 3 and 4. Big pile up. A lot of trucks going to get involved in this one. Fortunately for these drivers tonight, They do have a handful of fast repairs, so they're going to be able to get their machines fixed and get right back out there on the track. But big trouble here tonight on lap number 1. A lot of drivers involved in this one. We'll take a look here. Tell you what, let's go with Thad Miller, the 40. The 13, there he is, Thad Miller. Looked like the 42 up front got into the wall a little bit, stacking them up on the high side, and there you can see a lot of drivers going to get caught up. The 74 piles in the 19. There's the 42 turned around, the 66, the 41, the 6. Oh my goodness, it's a who's who of who's involved here early tonight from Eldora. And just like that, we'll go back to the front of the field with our race leader, Brandon Medford, and there you can see Failer Bottom of the Speedway heading into pit lane. He's definitely going to burn one of those fast fixes. And tonight you may see a little more contact than what you typically would see on the asphalt. These trunks built a little bit more for some of the beating and banging. You can really lean on that right rear quarter, right that last little corner bend right before it meets right where the rear deck lid comes together. You can really kind of hang it out right there, kind of scrub it off of that outside wall, and we'll see if anybody does it this time around as green flag flies. Once again, here from Eldora, lap number 5, going to go on the board as Brandon Medford trying to set sail at the top of the speedway. We'll continue to watch the action at the front of this field as drivers make their way around. We'll drop that timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen, let you find your favorite driver and follow along, just like we do right here in the production booth. Big stack up back in the mid-pack. That was your pole sitter here tonight, bottom of the racetrack, trying to make something work. And that 38 machine, Dylan McDonald, started from the first position here tonight, dominated his heat race earlier. And as the track begins to rubber up a little bit, you can see some of that dark area beginning to form at the top of the racetrack. Will the bottom feeders, the drivers that are willing to catfish here tonight, will those be the drivers that pick up some time and pick up some speed? Big loose condition there for McDonald, working off of turn 4, and he's going to put it in the wall heading into turns 1 and 2. Big trouble here now as your pole sitter struggles. We'll jump around the track just a little bit, trying to bring you some more action right here at the front of the field. We'll take a look off of the front end of Dylan McDonald. Great onboard camera shot here as we watch these drivers navigate the high dirt banks here from Eldora. Close racing right there. He's going to squeeze in, but into the outside wall. He'll lose some momentum, and he'll give the position back to Pamitan as now McDonald tries to reset and re-roll on the position. Taking a look at the battle right here, just off in front of John Gutekunst. That's Thomas Smalling and Mark Parkhurst going at it. You want to know what it's like to be on the dirt? Let's go behind the wheel with that 41 of John Gutekunst. Here he is, 41, bottom of the racetrack. Going to pick up a position. It looks like Nathan Estep. Thad Miller may have had a little bit of trouble. Gutekunst looks like he's on the bottom, really working that left front down on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find a little bit of slick down there to keep this machine rolling off a quarter exit, and he's going to pull even and take a spot away inside of your top 5. Gutekunst getting the job done here on lap number 12. Close racing action with the wounded 19 of Scott Clodfelter. Big time trouble here for the 19 tonight. He's going to be listed one lap down, sitting in the 15th position. Nathan Estep right there in 14th. First driver, 1 lap down. Should we get a caution flag here tonight with drivers running all over each other right here on the dirt? One misstep and we can find ourselves back under caution, but for the time being, let's go back to the front. Race leader Brandon Medford working his way to the inside of Zachary Woods. He's going to pull even now. Race leader going to put another driver down one lap here in the Rickenbacker Door Company 50 from Eldora Motor Speedway. You're watching the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Brandon Medford looking like the king of dirt here tonight, to walk it away 1.1 second advantage. Had over a 2-second advantage in his heat race here tonight as well. So a dominating performance for him from outside pole position, and he may want to roll the dice and just qualify second from now on. Guess he started outside pole position for tonight's feature event, and here he is walking away with this thing 17 laps in. We're about a quarter of the way through tonight's events. And I tell you what, we're going to find some battles here. Why don't we go back in the field? Here we go. Closest battle on the track. We'll look at these drivers all over each other. Really a slew of them. Chris Medford just down front. There you can see Brendan Pamitat, Mark Parkhurst involved in this battle. The 35 of Wes Fuller, Dustin Franklin a little bit further behind. There you can see Franklin creeping into the picture just out of camera's view. Little bit of damage on the rear deck lid of Mark Parkhurst, the 23 machine into the outside wall. Going to bang it off the boards a little bit, overstep that cushion on the top of the racetrack. Looks like a handful of drivers beginning to migrate to the bottom of the racetrack as Eldora starts to slick off at the top. Riding the rim here goes Parkhurst. Big battle here as John Gutekunst looks for position. There's Dylan McDonald working his way back inside of the top 5. And trouble on the track. We've got a caution here tonight. Competition caution coming out at lap number 20. We do apologize. Caution on the speedway. No contact, no trouble for any drivers. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a competition caution here on lap number 21. Slash drivers catch back up to race leader Brandon Medford. We'll see who's willing to give up track position. Do these drivers have enough fuel? Is really the key. Pit road, a very tricky place here at Eldora Speedway. You're gonna have to be careful about your pit options and how you get the work done on pit road. Very easy to go a lap down here, even under yellow flag conditions. Still just a 35-second lap time around here, even at a very slow pace behind the pace truck. As you can see, your lucky dog going around the race leader. There you can see some wave arounds getting their laps back as well. Race control working hard out here to keep everybody competitive. And here we go, race fans. We're going to get back to action here from Eldora Speedway. Lap number 24 on the board. 25 will cross the line this time by. Pace truck going to duck off, and we're going to go back. Green flag racing on the loud pedal, and away we go. No, we're going to call it again. I believe we're going to call it. Caution will come back out here. We'll delay the start for at least another lap or two. Driver's going to have to slow down for that pace truck just working its way through traffic off of turn 2 now. Short-lived restart, and we're going to get stacked up once again to get ready to roll here from Eldora Speedway. Drivers should see the one finger wave and we will be ready to go. Back green flag racing this time around. The Chevy Silverado pace trunk will duck off. Brandon Medford will bring the field back to the green flag. Spencer Teal, Thomas Smalling, John Gutekunst, Dylan McDonald gonna round out your top 5 here tonight. Pace struck in on the gas and green flag flies. Once again, Brandon Medford gonna smash the gas and walk away, banging it off the boards. Back in third. And Thomas Smalling, the 21, gonna lean it out just a little bit farther on the high side. And here he comes. Look at him digging on the bottom. We talked about that inside lane beginning to work late in the race when the top really began to slick off. And there you can see big gains on the bottom of the speedway. Catfish Billy here tonight. And oh, contact, big trouble. Big time trouble here once again. Lap number 28. We're going to see a big cautioned parking lot once again off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Field going to get tied up and involved in quite a bit of a mess here. As we're going to take a look back, let's see what happened here. Let's check the iRacing League calculator replay. We'll go a little further back than that. Let's go back here. Catching a little bit of the action late, and you can see right there just a ton of drivers going to be involved in this one. Cody Giles involved as well. I mean, it's a who's who once again involved in this big melee on the backstretch. Track officials got a little bit of cleaning up to do, so we'll stay behind the Chevy Silverado pace trunk for at least a lap or two as they get things cleaned up here on the backstretch. Spencer Teal, John Gutekunst, Chris Medford, Dylan McDonald, Cody Giles, Thad Failer, all involved. Scott Baker catches a piece at the end of this one as well. So 7, 8, 9 drivers caught up involved here. And caution flag number 3. And we're going to see quick cautions here tonight at Eldora Speedway. Pace truck lights are already off. We're ready to refire the engines once again. Lap number 32 when we cross the line this time around. Brandon Medford leads the field. Back to the green flag on the gas. We roll in Medford. Easy run down into turn number 1. We're going to keep our eye on race leader Brandon Medford for just a brief moment as we've got 3 wide racing behind him. Let's shift the cameras, fellas. Let's go back here. Watch this action. 3rd, 4th, 5th on the racetrack. Bottom, Wes Fuller trying to make something work. 23, Mark Parkhurst. What a recovery for the BJs. Number 23, Chevy Silverado running well here tonight. Fastest forward in the field. Working the bottom of the 35 of Wes Fuller. Looking for a position, make it 2 as he goes 3 wide. Deep bottom of the racetrack. Oh, gonna drift up into the side of the 21 of Thomas Smalling. Smalling gonna have a little bit of a catch of the wheel. Staying the gas, working off of turn number 4. And now Smalling looking for a position on Dustin Franklin, the 74, struggling at the top of the racetrack. It's interesting to see how some of these drivers seem to struggle a little bit at the top of the racetrack, but moving down, entering a little bit more into the slick and allowing the truck to kind of drift up and into the corner. It really affects how their corner exit is. Looks like a lot of the drivers struggling to really find that fine line, still digging at the bottom. You can see Gutekunst way down there In turn number 3, he's going to lose a little bit of ground as the track's still widening out. 24 laps remaining here tonight in the Rickenbacker Door Company 50, live here from Eldora Speedway. Thanks for joining us here tonight. You've missed some great racing action if you're just joining us here, but we've still got 23 laps of dirt track racing ahead of us. Oh, and we got a big door slam. Oh, my. Big door slam, and oh, we got to drive around 35. West Fuller going to have some issues, and that's going to bring the caution out. You've seen it happen right there. You've seen it on your screen. We'll take one look at it here. As Fuller's going to have some issues, we'll go on board. The truck just going to come around down to the inside concrete. Spin the truck around, no harm, no foul. We'll continue on the track here tonight. West Fuller going to have some issues, but we'll head back with your race leader, front of the field. 21 laps remaining. We'll have less than 20 to go. It's going to be a short track shootout, Saturday night style at your local dirt track, Eldora Speedway, putting on a show here tonight with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Medford looking for his second win. Pamitat right there, going to restart second. Brandon Fast, week in, week out lately, he's been on a roll. Can that U.S. Air Force Chevy Silverado make it to victory lane for the first time this season? Thomas Smalling looking for his second win. Franklin and Parkhurst going to round out your top 5. And Parkhurst, as well as Franklin, still looking for that first win. And here it is. Here we go. We're going to get ready to go back. Green flag racing, and we're going to go on board here for the restart. Let's jump on board with Thomas Smalling taking a look at Brandon Pamitat as well as Medford, top of the racetrack. Smalling trying to work the wheel at the bottom of the slick. A little bit loose there off of turn number 2. He's going to grip the wheel, dig down into turn 3. Nice center of 3 and 4. Smalling going to regain some ground. Work up the racetrack through the slick here in 1 and 2. Grab a handful of wheel off of the corner exit. Gives up a little bit of time with a wiggle. Oh, and into the wall. Pamitat into the wall. Smalling, they're going to follow each other right into it. Big trouble. Spencer Till. Chris Medford going to go around. We've got a driver digging backwards. The 46 of Chris Medford sitting backwards on the racetrack. Contact, and we've got ourselves our 5th caution of the evening. Caution flag going to fly here on lap number 44. 16 to go. We will roll back under green flag conditions with less than 15. It's going to be a barnyard brawl at the front of the field. We'll take a look. Let's see what happened with Medford. Looks like just a little bit of contact on the tail end of the truck, and he's going to go around off of turn 2. How about driving backwards right there, keeping it rolling, man. Great move. Absolutely love it right there. Unfortunate circumstances brought Medford to that unique roll down the front stretch. But with 15 to go at the dirt track, I mean, anything can happen. If you're on the lead lap, let's face it, race fans, if you're on the lead lap, you know there's going to be some beating and banging. If drivers are close enough, you know, it's dirt track racing. This is what we do. We rub. You know, yeah, everybody wants to be clean, but, you know, you're going to be leaning on each other. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is here. And really, as we take a look at the top 5, a handful of those drivers do have damage. Brandon Pamitat, Thomas Smalling, both damaged on the front end of their trucks. A little bit of damage there for for Dustin Franklin as well. Some right rear damage for Franklin. With 13 laps remaining, we hit the gas and go back. Green flag racing here tonight. Brandon Medford going to head off into turn number 1. Pamatad with a good run this time. They'll beat and bang off of turn number 2. Smalling on the bottom of the racetrack. 3 wide for third. 3 wide for second now as the drivers on the bottom slide up. Contact between McDonald and Pamatad. 3 wide squeeze at the line. Smalling looks for it on the bottom. He's going to use them up through 1 and 2, using up that 48. And the 48's going to return the favor, and around he goes. 360 spin. And it looks like everybody going to keep on going. We're going to stay green flag. No caution will fly. Caution will fly after contact on the track. Under caution for the 6th time here tonight from Eldora Speedway, you're watching the Rickenbacker Door Company 50 with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Front of the field, Brandon Medford dominating his heat race, dominating tonight's feature event. Medford going to lead almost every single lap here tonight. He's going to restart from the front of the field. Thomas Smalling, Brandon Pamatad right behind him. Thad Failer, Wes Fuller, Mark Parkhurst, John Garrett, Dylan McDonald, Cody Giles, and Chris Medford will round out your top 10 for the latest restart. Big restart here for Brandon Medford. Will he be able to walk away from Thomas Smalling? He's going to hit the gas quickly and work 2 truck lengths of a race lead by the time he hits turn number 1. Digging on the bottom, Pamatad trying to make it work, looking for the position on Smalling. He's going to slide up, grab the spot. They'll pull even in turn 3, back to the bottom, works that 48. To stack up at the top behind these drivers. That's a battle for the 5th position. McDonald making some headway. Once again, that 38 is very quick here tonight. He's been to the rear of the field 2 or 3 times, and here he is, end of the race, and he's back inside the top 5. Caution flag to fly as we've got a truck around in the back. Looks like Dylan McDonald's still going on the racetrack. Gonna take a look back here, see if we can't see what happened. Maybe Chris Medford going around here. Waiting for a thumbs up, and it looks like there is some trouble with that 46. We'll go back here. Contact, squeeze play into the outside wall. More contact, and around he goes. That's going to be it to Spartan. 46 of Chris Medford going to come to a stop in the middle of the racetrack, and that's going to put us under caution for the 6th time here tonight. Meanwhile, at the front, 5 to go. Brandon Medford has led about 50 of these 60 laps in tonight's official race distance already. Late race caution on the dirt. He's got control of the restart. Contact into turn 1. What do you think? Bottom of the racetrack, slider. Do you wait till turn 3, 4 to do it? When do you do it? We're going to go back green flag racing with 3 laps remaining, so not an official green-white checker just yet. So we've got ourselves an opportunity of 2-3 restarts still here. Will we see contact to determine who walks away with the checkered flag in tonight's Rickenbacker Door Company 50 live right here from Eldora Speedway? We're going to get ready to roll. Pace car goes away on the gas quickly. Brandon Medford going to cross the line. 3 laps to go. Top of the racetrack. 1 car advantage. Pim attack going to try to slide. Not going to work. Deep in the bottom, 48 trying to make it work. Smalling trying to look for a door on the top of the racetrack. Popsicle sticks, 2 to go. 2 laps remaining here from Eldora Speedway. Bottom of the racetrack, not quite there for the 48. He's still trying to find something, trying to find a little grip. Into the boards is the 21. He's going to lose some ground. Not enough time for the 38 as we see the white flag fly. Final lap here tonight. The Rickenbacker Door Company 50 from Eldora Speedway. Out front, Brandon Medford walking away with this thing. Across the line into the checkered flag. Brandon Medford going to walk away with the top spot. Pim Atat back in second. Thomas Smalling in third. Dylan McDonald, what a good recovery. He's going to finish fifth. Wes Fuller in fifth. Great racing action here all night long from Eldora. As you see, a race leader cool down lap here. He's going to give some of the fans in the stands a little bit of a show on dirt here tonight as we get set and ready to go trackside. We'll take ourselves a brief commercial break, head back and talk to a handful of these drivers. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. In backtrack side, live here from Eldora Speedway. Walking away from the track tonight, your podium drivers will get to have a little talk with the man that walked away third here tonight. Let's see if we can't have a little brief conversation with our man inside of that 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience Chevy. It's Thomas, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, man, a little bit of a different beast here tonight. The dirt here at Eldora. What's your take on it? How'd you like it? You ready to come back?
Yeah, just a crazy race of survival at this point. Pretty much everyone was trying to ride the wall because that's where the speed was. But at least we came out of it, got a P3, and then yeah, I'd like to come back to dirt. Maybe not this track, but Bristol dirt sounds fun.
Okay. So, you not necessarily not a fan of the dirt, just maybe not here at the dirt track, but either way, man, a third place finish here for you tonight. You worked your way up 5 positions in tonight's race. How'd you manage to stay out of some of the carnage?
Well, by being in the carnage and just coming out first. So lap one, I think it was lap one, but I was involved in a big wreck and gained 5 spots and couldn't move on from there. So yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, things do work out in the end for you, but before we let you go here tonight, walking away with a good points day, third place here tonight from Eldora Speedway. Thomas, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the race shop?
Yeah, thank you to Pro Cup Racing Experience for being on the car. Again, they have upcoming dates at Michigan International Speedway. May 12th is Ladies' Day. June 23rd is open to everyone, and you can check them out, procuprace.com. And yeah, just big thanks to everyone. Thank you for the broadcast as always. Good racing from everyone, mostly clean for the race. So yeah.
All right. Well, Thomas, again, congratulations on a podium finish here tonight. And we'll see if we can't catch up with you next week when we're back on the asphalt.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun race. See ya.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walked away third here tonight's Thomas Smalling going to finish tonight's race in the third position. Walk away with the final spot on the podium, and that's going to move us right along to the man in that 48 machine, the U.S. Air Force Chevy Silverado. Brandon, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much, man. Watching some great dirt track racing. How you feeling about how you finished here tonight?
Dude, I couldn't be happier. I'm not a dirt guy, and I don't really know how to run many dirt places, but I will take this any day.
Well, man, you looked like you were starting to kind of find your way around the track, and then a handful of cautions came out. You had a little bit of contact and a little bit of trouble here tonight. How'd you manage to keep it up near the front of the field?
To be honest, I don't know. There was I got sort of mid-pack, maybe like sixth-ish, just by sort of following everyone and figuring out how to run the top with the throttle control. And then after the stage with like I think maybe 20 something to go, there's a big wreck that I got around. But I had a little bit of front end damage, but I got around it, and that put me in second. And then we sort of stayed there, and then we had an issue with another truck. Not sure what happened, but we got thrown in the wall, and then he was in the wall, and then we got below him with a run. I think we were 3 wide at one point and just nowhere to go, so that sucked. But yeah, I'll be happy with a second place after all that.
Well, man, sometimes some crazy things happen when you hit the dirt track, but nonetheless, you're going to come out with a great points day here tonight, finishing second. Before we let you go and walk away tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the race shop?
Yeah, of course. Every week I want to thank my dad for supporting me with this racing. Gives me pointers and just overall really, encourages me to go out there and give it my all, even though it may be tough sometimes. It's not my forte certain places, but I also want to thank Fort Worth Screen Printing, a great group of guys, John and his ARCA car. So supporting him. I want to thank you for the broadcast every week. You do an amazing job. Always love going back and watching it. And then I also want to thank, the guys in the league it's really fun. I say this every week. You know, you have a blast whether you hate the track or love the track. You're always finding yourself in a good battle. I was just talking to Brandon Mefford right before this, and we were sharing, you know, laughs and good thoughts about that race and what happened, what went wrong, and everything like that. And so I just want to thank all of them for the great racing. So um, that's really about it.
All right, well, Brandon, always a class act and always a pleasure to catch up with you at the end of these things. We're going to hit the pavement once again, so we'll see if we can't talk to you here in the next few weeks.
I sure hope so.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man that walks away second here tonight. Yet your second driver that says, I don't know how I did it, but I did it. He's going to walk away with a handful of points from the dirt track here at Rossburg, Ohio. What a night. What a race. Back to victory lane once again. Let's head down and see if we can't grab some words with your race winner here tonight. Brandon, it's Dave. How you doing, bud?
I am fantastic.
Top of the speedway, man, ripping it on the lip pretty much all night long. How were you able to feel so comfortable up that high?
Um, I wasn't comfortable at all. I just found a line that I liked, and it was able to keep me out front. So that's what I ran the whole race.
Well, a couple of drivers tried a handful of dives to the inside. Were you ever worried about a deep slider coming up there, maybe a little door banging going on?
Yeah, honestly, I was worried about somebody, driving it deep down on the bottom and pulling a slider, and with how slick it was out there, it was going to be hard to turn down and pull that slider back off going down to the next corner. So, um, couple clean drivers up there. I wasn't worried about them wrecking me on purpose, so I was able to stay comfortable up top. And I knew if something happened, it was a mistake, and it wasn't anything, on purpose or anything like that. So
Well, Brandon, you're going to walk away with your second win on the season here tonight. Does it make you feel any better knowing that you got it on kind of a unique track? I don't believe we're going to be visiting the dirt again here this season. So, does it make it any sweeter to kind of have that one of a kind?
no, I'm not a dirt guy whatsoever. So I didn't even come in here. I came in here hoping for a top 10. So leaving with a win is like winning the championship to me. It's on dirt. These trucks are very difficult. Some of these guys are very good on dirt. So man, I I'm gonna hold this one on close to the heart for a while.
All right. Well, Brandon, again, congratulations on your second win of the season. Before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
Yeah, of course, Dave. Thank you for the broadcast. You do a great job. Um, glad we uh, glad we got to talk the last 3 weeks, being on the podium. But yeah, I got to thank everybody in the league here at Colonial Clash. These guys put on a great league, a bunch of great drivers, a bunch of clean drivers for the most part. Got to thank you know all my teammates at Charity Motorsports: Doug, Troy, Chris, Matt, all those guys. Got to thank Five Star Graphics, Chris Wally, Spartan, those guys over at my IROC League. And then shout out to my charity, Zoe Place, Kids Talk, Ellie's Place, Race for Riley, and Lucky Finn. We race for those guys, and means a lot. And then finally, thanks to my family for letting me do this. It takes a lot of time in the evenings, and they let me have fun and get my getaway space. So just thanks to all the fans out there watching too. I can't wait to go back and watch this one, and um, knowing I'm going to win the race, but I'm not believing at the same time.
Well, Brandon, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you at the end of these things. I'm sure it's not going to be the last time, my friend. So until then, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave. Have a good one.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away with his second checkered flag of the season here tonight. Getting it done on the dirt. Walking away with the checkered flag. The 83 of Brandon Medford gonna sit in victory lane here from Eldora. What a night, what a race fans. My goodness, I couldn't have asked for a better evening. And we've got some great racing action coming up here next week as well. Don't forget about next week's race at Michigan as we hear producers in the background hitting the buttons, you know the sounds, you know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away with the checkered flag here tonight inside of the 83 machine, Brandon Medford. Brandon Pamatad back in second with Thomas Smalling rounding out your podium drivers here tonight. 38 of Dylan McDonald gonna lead a handful of laps as your pole sitter, but finish the night back in fourth. 35 of Wes Fuller gonna finish out your top five. Thad Failer back in sixth with Nathan Easton finishing in seventh. John Kudikun's gonna come home eighth tonight with Dustin Franklin and Chris Medford rounding out your top 10. Zachary Woods, Mark Parker's back in 12th. Scott Baker and John Garrett going to finish out your top 14. The 19 of Scott Clodfelter going to come home in 15th with Spencer Teal. Cody Giles and Thad Miller finishing out the 18 truck field here tonight from Eldora Speedway. What a night, what a run. And as we begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, if you haven't already, don't forget about joining us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love, and as always, drop them that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So until then, my friends, stay safe, stay loved, and we'll meet you in Turn 3.